so we're going to stick with world wars, and the second point I wanted to mention was what America never dropped the atomic bomb, and I
Oh,
think that's a very interesting, yeah, way to view things because we've had previous podcasts where we mentioned
oh
we
man.
both went to the atomic bomb museums in
Yeah,
Japan,
yeah.
and what if what's it called? What if yeah, we never dropped the atomic bomb? And I will say two things first, and I think people might disagree, but it's I think it's very much backed by evidence. First thing is, and I'm not condoning. The first thing is, if we didn't drop if America didn't drop the atomic bomb, um, millions more would die.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's
It
it's
would
it's
have
a it's
continued.
assured. Like millions more would have died. A lot of people may not know these. They considered any able-bodied person
Hmm.
a soldier, right? So there was I mean, now you could say it's a little bit over the top, but they said there's an estimated 20 million combatants in the Japanese home islands. Um, so that's 20 million possible soldiers you have to fight. You know, teenagers, older people. They had guns. They were taught how to use weapons, and it's like, okay, urban warfare. Okay, on the Japanese islands. And what I wanted to say was, if we didn't drop the bomb. There are actual declassified military plans where the American military said, if we don't use these bombs, we're going to do an invasion of Japan. Now, the invasions were planned in 46. Now, people know 1945 won the war.
Yeah,
And I believe these plans were already planned beforehand. Like they were not planned because of the atomic bomb.
like
So
a
they did. I mean, people
no
didn't
pun,
know
but
they
like
were.
fallout of what happened.
Yeah, I don't think it was like, if we don't drop the bomb, what this is our next attack plan. It was like, we're
Hmm.
gonna do this, and then the bomb came in and was like, should we just do the bomb, and like, like it would solve problems, quicker. Um, so like basically the plan of the Japanese islands, there's four main islands. It was going to be, I think, like two or three times bigger than D-Day, and they had over like 1.5 million soldiers prepared to invade the islands, the coasts.
Gosh.
Yeah, and they would have been bath, right? So,
Yeah.
and they even said something like, I think they said, okay, we would invade by 1946, and the hope is by 1947 we'll win the war. And they
Gosh.
were
No,
saying
that's a
things like,
full like
yeah, they
another
were
year.
saying things like 500,000 soldiers would die in like the Japanese islands. Because if you learn about Iwo Jima,
Mhm.
Okinawa, it's like they never surrendered practically. They just kept
No.
killing themselves, or like, it was intense. So yeah, what would you say about that if they never dropped the atomic
Um,
bomb?
I mean, again, let's keep going on this what if here. We invade, we do all that stuff. Obviously, you're going to have a lot more people lose life and stuff. Not good for anybody. But would
Yeah.
that have actually won the war that it did now? Like, what if we did that and we are like, hey, we're not going to drop the bombs. We're going to take it like an actual like war because we don't want to cause all this death and destruction. We're just going to keep on going. And they
Mm-hmm.
did that, and then Americans lose that war. Would they have continued to push over and then take over like America because now we're attacking them? So now they push towards America. Would and if that's the case, would we even have like California? Would I be talking to you right now about
Yeah,
this?
right, right.
So like,
I mean, I
um,
would assure you that I would still be Asian, though.
and I would assure you, I would still look like this. So I don't
Yeah,
think we would be
right.
friends.
Yeah,
But
right.
no, but it's like we, as an American, we made a choice to do that, knowing that that impact would happen.
Mhm.
Um, Obviously, now later in the future, literally like 80 years later, we look at it from a different perspective. But then, as an Oppenheimer, the movie
Mm.
where they're like talking about like, hey, we shouldn't do this, and then all of a sudden it happens, and you can see in his face where it's like, this is not a good thing.
Mm.
Even the
Yes.
pilot has like regretted that, and it's like, had we not done that, we would have
Yeah.
had countless other people doing that. The war would have continued for a couple of years. Is it worth it? I again, I don't know what it would look like from looking at it from the past future. Um, but it had we gone in, yes, we won D-Day. I guess we stormed Normandy and we took it.
Hmm.
Does that mean we would have taken Japan where they don't surrender? Like I have no idea if that would have even been an option. It took
Right.
us 2 bombs to do that. Would they
And
would they have
yeah,
surrendered if it was just a normal
I,
storming of
I
four
think,
beaches?
Japan's population was like 40 million back then. So it's like, what are we gonna kill 40 million people? Like they never surrender. And it's like, yeah. And
Like
another
that's
what if you mentioned is like, what if the atomic bomb didn't work?
oh
Two, and
yeah.
we dropped two, and they're just like, nah, we're not gonna surrender.
Or
It's like,
or what if the
oh
bomb
crap.
didn't work and it's like
Oh, just in general. Yeah.
like it
I
doesn't
meant in
work.
the sense of like if they
It
didn't
doesn't
surrender,
stop them.
they're
Yeah.
like, no, use 100 more. You're like, oh
Yeah.
damn,
Like
like,
or if
yeah,
they're like there's so many things that we can like
yeah, yeah,
the second you open up that like what if it then like oh gosh it's like a multiverse where it just like spirals outwards like well this would have happened well what about
multiverse.
this
Right,
um
right.